Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Gotlegs. I'll admit it, it's been a while since the last video, but then again, it's actually not been as long as the previous videos has had in between. So, a lot of things have happened since the last time. I bought a lot of new gear, bought some new kit, a lot of new socks, actually got some new glasses. Ta-da! And I'll go into details about those in another video. But what I wanted to talk to you about today is a new project I have coming up. You see, for the past, must have been 4 seasons, I've been riding the S-Works SL5 Tarmac. And as some of you know, I had it custom painted, I had it built up exactly how I wanted it to be. And it's been a great bike. But after 4 or 5 years of riding that, I wanted to try something different or something new. And I'm not ready to go full disc yet. I still see a lot more advantages to riding rim brake bikes than disc brake bikes. So I wanted to get something rim brake, and I'm not an idiot. So I know that a lot of the big companies won't be making rim brake bikes for the future, or at least for the upcoming future. I still hope that they'll continue making rim brake bikes and at a point maybe start doing them full time again. So I started searching for what companies I should look at. And of course I wanted to look at the S-Works because I really liked the Tarmac, and the SL6 that came out just a couple of years later than my SL5 was always a bike that really intrigued me. So I really liked that one, especially because it had direct mount brakes, which are supposed to be far superior to the normal like single pivot brakes on the SL5. My God, the sun just came out. So I also looked at other options. I looked at the Trek Madone, I looked at some Cannondales, some Basso bikes. I even looked a lot at the Ridley Noah Fast bike. What else? I looked at a Pinarello at a time, but I'm not really a big fan of Pinarello. So I finally boiled it down to either a Tarmac SL6 or the Ridley Noah Fast. After searching various forums, various like used listings, eBays and all that, I finally came across a guy that wanted to trade me an old frame that I had, plus some cash for him for his SL6. So I got that one. So let's take a closer look at that. All right, so this is the frame. It's actually a Peter Sagan version, so, or at least I think it is. Actually it has a pretty nice paint job. It like changes color depending on the light you see it in and what angle you see it in. So this is size 54, and I think I weighed it at like 170 grams or something like that, only with the bottom bracket clips in it. So a very light frame. The seat post is like 180 grams, so also insanely light. And yeah, that's all good. But when you've been riding a custom painted bike for that many seasons, you can't really go on and ride like a standard frame. So even though this is a really nice bike, it has to be painted. So I started looking at various options that I had and looked at different designs, looked at different colors and so forth. And I got in touch with Fat Creations over in the UK and corresponded a bit back and forth. And basically this frame will be shipped over to him or to them and will be painted. I'm still not certain that I know what colors I want to do it in. I have 2 options. So I have a Galaxy themed bike that I saw on Instagram from a company called Colorburn Studios, I think it was, where it basically fades from like dark teal into a dark purple. With the paint looks very, very deep. So it kind of resembles a galaxy or outer space and has some slight dots to it. And then I want to have the zodiac signs of my 2 boys painted on each side of the fork, and also have my name and a bunch of other stuff on that bike. I'm still not sure if I want to go that route or I want to stick to my original thought, which was to have something that resembles like Miami Vice. I had like a crazy idea that I wanted a camo kind of thing on one side and then a plain on the other side, more simple, 4 colors or something like that, and talked with the painters, and they said, you can't do that, it'll be 1,500 pounds, and I don't have that kind of money this time, so it has to be a bit more simple, so it probably has to be some sort of fade. But let me know in the comments what you think I should do with it. Should I go with the Galaxy theme or maybe some Miami Vice colors? Let me know. If I go with the Galaxy theme, I still don't know what to do with this logo. On the bike that I saw on Instagram, it had like an outlined logo, and I think that's a bit dull. So I wanted something a bit different than that. So again, if you have any ideas, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. This bike I will build up with some new parts and also some old parts, because again, I don't have a ton of money this time. The last time I built up a bike, I had insurance money from a crash that I had, so I could basically go out and buy everything brand new and from the get-go. But this time I will be getting a new seat, a new stem and handlebars, and then I'll basically transfer the group set from my SL5 over to this one, and then continue to evolve on that. So when I have the money to buy a new group set, I'll put that on this bike and then transfer the old group set to the old bike, because I still want to ride my SL5 from time to time. You know, it's still one of the coolest bikes I've seen, and I'm pretty proud of it. So I would feel guilty if I didn't ride that once in a while, also because it still rides amazingly. So I will be putting on the E-Tap group, the Power to Max power meter on a rotor crankset, the Enemy 4.5 wheels when the weather is good, and the have Belgium Plus rims with DCR hubs laced to them. But then I'm gonna do some different stuff. So the brakes on this are direct mount, and on the SL5 it was like single mount. So I bought some new brakes for this, which will be the Dura-Ace 91 blah blah, something like that. I could go with the SRAM direct mount brakes, but I've just heard so many good things about the Dura-Ace, and it comes up in the same color, and who really cares? I'm not really bothered by mixing group sets. I'm not. For the seat, I've chosen the wonderful S-Works Romine Evo. It's the same that I have on the SL5. So this is extremely light. It's just below 130 grams. I actually made a video when I made the SL5, so you can find that on YouTube, where I go into detail about this saddle. It's really nice. It'll go up here, and I'll be riding it really fast. It's one of the few seats that really fit my bottom, and it's light. It's very nice. I just wish they'd make this in white, because white saddle, white bar tape. Come on, Specialized. It's not that hard to make a white saddle. It isn't. The handlebars will be the SIP SL70 Aero version. So, and probably in a size 38. Currently I have the SL80, which is like just a round bar from SIP in aluminium. It has a reach of 80 centimeters, and it is a bit porky. And I have that in 40 centimeters width. And I'd just like to see if I can go a bit narrow. So let's try the SL70s in a 38 to see if they work. They still flare out a bit on the bottom, so they'll be around 40 centimeters in the drops. So I should still be able to get a pretty decent sprint. But since they only have a reach of 70, I need to go a bit longer on the stem. And the stem is the same as it is on the SL5. I'm not really mixing things up here. I can feel that, but I just really love this stem. This is the SIP Sprint SL. It's a porky bastard, and this is a 130. So on the SL5 I have a 120, and since I'm going with a handlebar with a shorter reach, I decided to go a bit shorter than this. or longer on the stem. So this is a really porky stem. This is 190 grams, so 190 grams. The faceplate alone with the bolts are about 43 grams or so. So this won't be a light stem, but it's stiff, and I really enjoy that. I really feel comfortable when I know that I can just punish the bike and not have any flex at all. So this has been my stem of choice for the last 4 or 5 years. And I couldn't find anything that I wanted more than this. I actually looked at the SIP SL Speed stem, which also looked very nice and a lot lighter than this, but they only make it up to a 120, and that would be too short with the new handlebars. And for the eagle-eye viewers that knows that I've clamped up the bike on the top tube, and you're really not supposed to do that. It's not really clamped. I just have it just tight enough so it won't wiggle about. So don't worry, guys. So I think that's about it for this bike. It needs to be packed and shipped to the UK soon. We'll include the stem because that has to be painted as well. So the next project is basically to have this shipped out, and hopefully it'll get back before New Year's. Because the thing is, I'm in Denmark, so I'm in the European Union. And Fat Creations are over in the UK, and currently they're in the EU as well. But come the 1st of January, they have decided to leave the European Union, and that's basically fine by me. I'm not that big of a fan of the European Union, but currently we're not sure how this will affect us. So if they make what is called the hard Brexit, that means that I have to pay VAT, value-added tax, when this bike gets shipped back to us. So there won't be any agreement on how we exchange goods between the countries. So if I decided to send this to Germany and have it painted down there, it would basically, I wouldn't have to pay anything more when it gets shipped back to me because we're in the same union. But if I send this to the US, I would have to pay 25% value-added tax when this comes back. So if we say that this is $1,000 paint job, I would have to pay 25% of the $1,000, including the shipping that has to be paid to get it back. So let's just say that that's $50. So that's $1,050 that I have to pay 25% off. And then I have to pay another additional percentage because this is not a complete bike, but this is a bike part, and I think it's above 10% or something like that. It's completely ridiculous, but that's just the law here in Denmark. And so I really want to make sure that this gets to the UK as soon as possible so that it has a chance to get back before possible a hard Brexit enters. So if the EU and the UK government can make an agreement, there shouldn't be any problems. But if we end up with a hard Brexit, this will be expensive to get back come January 1st. So that's it, guys. I am more than ready to embark on this journey and have a new bike to show you in the new year. And hopefully everything will be great about that. So until next time, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, watch the other videos, and I'll see you out there.